Hello, this is Kathleen with the World Economic Federation. Today I'm going to talk about how to make the sausage. This time, how to create a partnership between unions and the Federation. On a basic level, any union can partner with the Federation, provided that the union is not working in the fossil fuel industry and accommodates the Federation's goals, namely, repairing the climate and the environment, eliminating poverty and improving quality of life for all, and equitable exchange between all participants in the Federation. With that in mind, there are a few areas which deserve special mention. For example, coal mining is necessary for the steel industry. It is not necessary for use as fuel once green energy sources increase and are implemented properly into the energy grid. For that reason, unions which deal with fossil fuels as a necessity for the production of materials that cannot be produced in any other way would be eligible for a waiver that would allow them to participate in the Federation Union Auxiliary System. Those workers that are not eligible for a waiver would, of course, be eligible for the UBI once the fossil fuel industry is back in the ground where it belongs. The history of the fossil fuel industry is one of corruption, so we will put systems in place to ensure transparency and fair dealing. The waiver process is one of these systems, and it will be enforced by the auditors, the representatives whom the people elect for themselves. Therefore, the individual participants in the Federation, the voters, are in charge through the governance structure covered in previous videos. Should other organizations or wealthy individuals attempt to interfere with the democratic system, those organizations or persons will be excluded from the Federation. Any employees of theirs will then need to obtain a waiver to continue to receive the benefits of the Federation system. Our primary goal is to ensure that corruption and undue influence do not change the functioning of the Federation, its elections, leadership, employees, partners, or management. If you have concerns about how the Federation is run, then be sure to make your voice heard by voting in the independent auditors' elections. Coming back to the union and union auxiliary system, if your union is participating in the program, but not in a field working more directly with the Federation, the union dues subsidy system is still available to you along with the other services. That feature is not exclusive to direct employees of the Federation. If you are not a member of a union, you can join the union auxiliary, which gives you access to the UBI system and can function as a sort of pre-registration for a union. Our goal is to ensure a living wage and proper benefits for all workers. By working for the subsidization and eventual elimination of union dues, we are attempting to make every wage a union wage, either through our member unions or through the Federation itself. Just because we don't have a position for your skills or interests at the moment does not mean we abandon our values and believe you are not deserving of a living wage. If your employer is unionized and joins, they automatically get additional access and benefits through the business subsidy program, so they get more value for less and can use that profit to pay their employees living wages. We are not getting in the middle of the relationship. We are helping you pay your employees and benefit from scale and subsidies. In other words, we are helping you, the employer, be more competitive and attract the best workers. Going back to the fossil fuel industry, they would have to figure out how to compete with these Federation partner businesses. We are pretty clever, but we have no idea how they will pull that off. They will probably just try to drive up energy costs leading up to an election, or pay corrupt politicians to legislate against our equitable democratic economic system, or maybe, worse, start a bigger war to drive demand or something equally murderous or evil. Of course, their soldiers and citizens would have to choose to go along with the plan, knowing their leaders would just throw them under the bus for the profits of the oligarchy. I am not sure how long that would play, because by the time they are aware of the Federation enough to care, that means their people are too. So their people would then have a way to have a seat at the economic table and they can join the unions as well. Yes, we aim to go global across every border, an international federation of workers with their own access to reserves so that they do not have to charge their members dues. Furthermore, fossil fuel friends, with regard to the soldiers, whom you and your corrupt political leaders send to war to capture oil reserves and murder for your profit, you probably should have considered seeing to their needs a bit better. You have butchered their brothers in arms in wars of aggression for your self-interest, rebranded as national security. You offer them death, murder, and suffering, even more than you do the masses you unleash them on, as everywhere they go, there they are. When they come back broken, if they come back at all, their families, widows and widowers, are left with inadequate support for their losses. At some point, your soldiers just might refuse to do that thankless job anymore. Marginalized groups will also have a say in the federation-based union and auxiliary system as well. People cannot say we are unfair because in time, we intend to get to everyone. Unlike our political leaders, we won't just get through the top 1% of the population and say, well, our work here is done. The rest of you, just pull yourselves up by the bootstraps. As if it is not their job to maintain our democratic society, which requires an informed and educated electorate, free of misinformation and economic exploitation, to force our people to act against their own interests. By offering everyone a place in a democratic system that delivers good wages and livelihoods, the Federation wants to offer a better choice for the free market. A free market where not all the choices are bad. That's a start on making capitalism pay, like it promised.